Welcome back. You're tuned into Bazaar Morning Call. You're on CNBC-TV18. And hope you're having a good Friday morning because the SGX is suggesting that we're likely to start off gap up 100 points odd, positive handover overnight, and also news on the Adani Group could keep the indices in the green, at least for starters. But we've got plenty of stocks to talk about, so let's get straight to Nischal Maheshwari, CEO, Institutional Equities and Advisory at Centrum Broking, who joins us. Morning, Nischal. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, let's focus on GAIL first, one of those stocks that could be reacting to the news flow. PNGRB, well, they have proposed unified pipeline increase, the tariff increase of close to around 40%. The ask was 60-70% odd, but 40% isn't bad. What's your sense? How does the stock move from here on? It's been relatively an outperformer for the last couple of weeks.
Thanks, Nigel. Morning to you. I think this was slightly below than expected. I think most of the market was expecting, and I think the stock has gone up in anticipation of that. So we are a bit disappointed, basically. We were expecting something like 50% plus kind of increase. So I think in the short term, you might see some reaction on the stock. But given that there has been a good development, basically whatever may be lower than the market expectations, I think the stock is worth looking at these prices.
Okay, Nischal, hi, good morning. Market, obviously, just your thoughts on the way things have shaped up. Absolutely range-bound, negative bias. We're hoping for some sort of a reversal today. Don't know if that comes or not. What do you make of the overall environment? And are you incrementally deploying additional money, or are you still on the sidelines in a wait-and-watch mode?
Morning, Survi. Yes. So I think you asked me quite a few questions. So let me just try and enumerate each one of them. So overall, I still continue to remain negative on the market. But in the short term, basically, I think we are hugely oversold. And these positive news which have come yesterday, basically, I think it will stabilize the market and possibly we will see relief rally happening, I think, for the next few days. But I would actually still wait out and see, basically, because if you look at the US numbers for unemployment, it is still very strong. So I continue to believe, basically, that there is going to be rate hikes further, basically, in the US, and India has to follow. And if this higher for longer continues, basically, I think we have some more way to go. So this rally should be looked at, basically, selling on sell on rallies kind of a story at the moment. So I think taking profits is what I would recommend at the moment.
Taking profits is what you would recommend. What is, just a quick word on banks, if you will, Nischal. In light of what has happened with the Adani investment, which has come through, why those block deals? The collateral damage were banks, although, as has been widely publicized, the overall exposure to the banking system was less than 1% of total loans. Do you think this is a space which perhaps gets a bit of a lift, maybe a trading lift, but a lift nevertheless?
Definitely, Prashant. I think whatever, I think sentimentally, I think it was a bit negative. Otherwise, I was very, I don't think the market was expecting anything negative to come out of this whole episode for the banking sector per se. One, obviously, the exposure was not very large. And secondly, I think Adani anyway had very, very strong assets on the ground. So there was, I'm saying there, as far as collaterals were concerned, they were fairly in place. So didn't expect much to happen on the banking side. But I think overall banking has done very well in the last 1 year. Last quarter has been the peak of earnings, basically, as far as banks is concerned, because now the liability side increases are happening. You are seeing most banks increasing their FD rates. So when the liability side starts going up, basically, and they'll not be able to pass on with these kind of increases, what has happened. So I think NIMs are going to actually compress. So I think that's what most market is actually factoring in, that banks, possibly they have given the best quarter last quarter. So incrementally, it's not going to be as strong. And that's why I think people are taking away profits.
Okay, got that, Nischal. Just stay on, Nischal. We'll come back to you in just a few minutes, because for now, we're going to put the spot